minutes or so to go at Turf Moor. Reading in cruise control against Nottingham Forest and led by 3 goals to 0 against the K-Main. After the break, we'll be turning our attention to the Championship. It's an historic day in West London as the wait's finally over for Brentford fans. The Brentford Community Stadium opens its doors to some supporters for the first time ever this afternoon. They take on Blackburn.
Made of what matters. Soccer Saturday, sponsored by Gillette.
When you're following the game live, do it from the best seat in the house. In play, Sky Bet. That's betting better.
Yes, you want to know a secret? Do you promise not to tell?
Sorry everybody, I'm just putting this back up.
Find out more at cadbury.co.uk.
Cooking.
No,
Read it.
I stated. Yes, time for the rated chat. How did it go? Picking up snow.
Dancing.
Scoring a goal. So close. It's actually me scoring a goal against Swindon in 1993. That reminds me, did I even mention I scored
185 goals.
11 hat-tricks? Let's not forget that. I was always into gadgets and gizmos, and maybe that was an early sign of what was to come in the future. I work in the UK e-mobility team, supporting the delivery of the Future Fuels agenda. You have to adopt new ways of doing things to help create a better environment for future generations.
The Bond technology is helping to build hundreds of new Shell recharge
Whoops.
points in the UK.
Didn't mean to do that, right?
Haven't even told me everything she is. Like what she had you digging for.
I think we found it.
New era has begun.
So, delete this one.
Why would you trust her? Maybe she's lying.
The power to open a way to paradise is here, somewhere at the Outpost.
The Outpost Season 3, Tuesdays at 9, exclusive to Sci-Fi.
Oi.
It used to be fun.
I'm still fun! Soccer Saturday, sponsored by Gillette.
Closing stages of the game at Turf Moor. And it's mighty hard to call, Sue Smith.
It really is, Jeff. This game is so in the balance, and
Yes.
it could go either way. They've both been a little bit sloppy when they've got into the final third and into good positions, but Burnley have just had a fantastic chance to take the lead. It was a corner from Dwight McNeil. Chris Wood does so well, gets up for the header, good, powerful header. Jordan Pickford, absolutely fantastic save. I praised Nick Pope for a save earlier on for Burnley. This is again another fantastic save.
Some
for
fairly
Pickford. He
simple
could have come for the
down
corner,
the
didn't.
road.
Stay, and it was a really good hand, and it goes out for a Burnley corner. So still 1-1, and it could go either way.
Yeah, it certainly could. And let's just touch on the Championship. I'll tell you what, fans who suffered so much fun and misery in the Premier League last season are really enjoying life in the Championship. Got to the top after Bournemouth win at Barnsley by 4 goals to 0 last night. And there we are. The top 3 are the 3 who came down last season. Bournemouth, Norwich, Watford. Absolutely loving life. Reading, by the way, are on the verge of a win today, which will send them up to 30 points in second place. But that's as it is at the moment. Down at the other end of the table, it's 3 of the big clubs who are down there along with Wickham. Nottingham Forest, Sheffield Wednesday and Derby. And can you believe the size of those clubs who are down at the foot of the table? Of course, it's a red letter day for some fans today because they're on their way back to grounds for the first time. This is the Brentford Community Stadium, just a mile or so down the road here from Sky, and Brentford fans have never been inside this stadium until today, and a couple of thousand will be there for their game against Blackburn Rovers. But I have to ask, in terms of the Championship, Derby are rock bottom of the table, and there's a lot of speculation, Tim Sherwood, about Wayne Rooney, whether he's going to get the job, whether John Terry's going to get the job. Neither of them have got any managerial experience. Why would they do any better than an experienced manager like Philip Cocu with the same players?
Yeah, it's all about players, Jeff. Obviously, it's about getting the best out of the players. I don't think necessarily an experienced manager.
No, I don't want a trap door.
Is any guarantee either, you know? And we've seen a lot of experienced managers keep jumping off the merry-go-round and getting on somewhere else, you know. So why not give him an opportunity? I admire Wayne Rooney. He wants to take that opportunity, you know, to take up his life, because that's exactly what he does. Engulfs your whole life. It's a 24/7 job. It's not no longer get your kit on, get changed and go home and forget about the game. You're living every single player in that dressing room's life, and the expectation of all them fans. And it's a huge club, Derby Football Club. So I can imagine. I can only imagine that he went to the club knowing that he was going to take the manager's job afterwards, and then they got on the middle of a takeover talks. So I thought he's gone there to see out his career. I still think he should play, because I think he's one of the best players at the football club. But he obviously went there because he was going to get the job, so I can't see it going to anyone else.
Yeah, well, Murph, you know what it's like being player-manager and how difficult a job that is. Can he play and manage at the same time if he gets the job?
The problem is he's their best player, and that's the problem. So if he gets the job and he takes himself out of the team, he's only weakening the team. But to manage and play at the same time is so hard. As Tim said, Tim's been there. There's not enough hours in the day to be a football manager. There honestly isn't. I mean, and it is, it's the worry, you know, someone like him who affects a football game so much, then you have to sit on the other side of it and rely on other people to do that, and it's completely out of your hands. It's hard. I would have to get him in the team. I would hope that he's surrounded by strong coaches who, when they're sitting in their meetings, you're picking a team, they're going, you've got to play, you have to play, you have to play Wayne. But, you know, I hope he gets given a chance. I really do. I'm sure he didn't go to Derby, no disrespect to Derby, not to be the next manager. But I didn't think Cocu was going to go this quick.
But Ali McCoy, it's interesting, the contrast, isn't it? You know, the two of the giants who are down there, Nottingham Forest and Sheffield Wednesday, they've gone for Chris Hughton and Tony Pulis. They've gone for experienced managers. So who's right?
Time will tell, Jeff, but there's no guarantees. You know something? I'd like to know what the boys think. See if I'm Wayne Rooney, I'm not sure I want the job. I've got to say to you, you look at that generation of boys coming through. Lampard obviously got, when they were in a far better position. Steven Gerrard's come up to Rangers in a far better position. Do you want your first job? I mean, they're sitting with 8 points after 15 games. And Mercy's right, he's the best player. So, and those lads will know better than me about player manager. I couldn't imagine how difficult that would be. I mean, managing is hard enough, but having to play at the same time must be bordering on impossible. And I think Wayne Rooney is a very, very intelligent human being. He must be sitting there thinking, right, if I take the job, I've got to weigh these things up. We're in a horrendous position, you know. It's an achievement now to keep us in the league, you know. And what's the best thing do I do? Do I play myself? You know, because clearly I'll know his value to the team, but that will probably maybe take away from, you know, from what he could give as a manager. Steve McLaren there, is that at the older head where we mentioned the other two clubs have got old managers? I think Wayne Rooney's got a big decision to make. Getting back to John Terry, John Terry, somebody will need to tell me what right now for John Terry is appealing about that job. Other than, I think the risks, clearly, if he takes over and they stay up and they finish mid-table, whatever, that's great. But I'm thinking at this moment in time, the risks are too great for somebody like Terry. I know Rooney's maybe been offered the job before he went and said that's the next step, the natural evolution for him to get into management. But guys, it's a big thing. You take your first job and all of a sudden you're relegated. Where do you go from there?
We'll come back to it. We're going to go straight back to Turf Moor, though. Really, it's been a battle here, not just between Burnley and Everton, but between two England goalkeepers, Jordan Pickford at one end and Nick Pope-Sue at the other.
It really has, and both goalkeepers have done so well. This time, it's Nick Pope with a great save from his feet. Had James Rodriguez picks the ball up in the middle of the park. This is a lovely pass through. It's outside of the foot, through the defender's legs, onto Sigurdsson, who's running through. Actually, Sigurdsson should do better, but you've got to praise Nick Pope. Again, great reaction save with his feet. And it is still 1-1. There's 4 minutes added time, so still chance for another couple of chances for either side, hopefully.
Yeah, deep into added time at the moment. 2.5 minutes of that added time to play. It's been a really good game at Turf Moor as well, wide open in the second half in particular. Burnley are on the attack at the moment, but unfortunately it's a scuffed shot from Dwight McNeil that's gone way, way wide. So, Clinton Morrison, let me put you in Wayne Rooney's shoes at the moment then. You are an England legend, a Manchester United legend as well. You have your chance in the first managerial job, but it's a side who are rock bottom
A little better.
Championship. Would you be tempted to wait?
Yeah, but it's difficult when another opportunity arrives like that at a club like Derby County. So for me, it's a difficult one. I hear what Ali's saying, but I probably want to just take the job. I want to take it because I don't know when I'm going to get another opportunity. And I hear what Murph was saying. He probably didn't think this opportunity would come along this soon. He probably think he would learn off Lukaku and stuff like that. So I think when an opportunity, a job opportunity like this comes, and Derby, it is a decent football club in the Championship for sure. And they've got money. They're going to have backers. New backers are going to go in there. And if they back Wayne Rooney, then and they back him in the transfer market, then he can start making Derby climb up the table. So for me, I think it's a no-brainer. I think he has to take the job. Sometimes you have to learn. You have to learn on the job, and at the moment he is learning. It's difficult, but I agree with what Mer said. He has to find a way to that football team because he is the best footballer at that football club.
Millwall away today, and then the next game is Brentford away. So these are not easy times as far as Derby are concerned. Yeah, taking in a couple of weeks, says Mer. Deep into added time now in the game at Turf Moor. Looks like he's going to finish all square one apiece as the scoreline there, and Reading 2 goals to the good in their game against Nottingham Forest. I can see the Reading fans on their feet. In fact, it's full time, I can tell you, in the game in the Championship. And Lucas Yau's penalty is 14th of the season, and Michael Morrison have given Reading a 2-0 win. We'll show you the table a little later. After the break, we'll be heading to the Amex Stadium. Brighton are still looking for a home win this season, and they'll be looking to put that right against Southampton. But they face a tough task, as the Saints have never lost to their South Coast rivals in the Premier League.
Made of what matters. Soccer Saturday, sponsored by Gillette.
This is a call for a wild at heart. Sauvage. Le parfum. Dior. At Bet365, we're always innovating, creating. It's this constant pursuit of perfection that brought you Bet Builder. Live stream. In-play betting. Match live.
Color. I'll go diamond for.
Please gamble responsibly.
And I do top it. Bit flat.
Go further with up to 2 weeks battery life on the Huawei Watch GT2 Pro. Order online and in stores nationwide.
If walls could talk, what would they say? They'd tell you an out-of-focus photo on the mantle can warm this place up. That fairy tales come in tins. And change isn't scary when you're holding a hammer. You don't buy a life. You build one. What a day it was the day you found out you can do it. On the days over Christmas, I like to watch movies. 12
That's
movies
better.
for creatures, 11 Sonic movies, 10 Kisses Last Christmas, 9 Dancing Cats, 8 Harry Potter, 7 Page of Monday, 6 Tractor Trolls, 5 Frozen Friends, 4 Little Women, 3 Itsy
And bend it this way.
Christmas on Sky Cinema. Christmas
I'll go
is for
one more.
The Premier League takes centre stage this weekend, live on Sky Sports. Feel it all.
Soccer Saturday, sponsored by Gillette.
It is over at Turf Moor. It has finished. Burnley 1, Everton 1. Terrific game in the end. Robbie Brady with his first goal in almost exactly a year and 2 days to be precise, putting Burnley in front. Back came Everton. Dominic Calvert-Lewin scored the equalising goal. It's his 14th in his last 13 games. Point apiece in the end, and it means this as far as the table is concerned. At the top, Everton in 7th spot. They're very much still in contention for absolutely everything, aren't they? At the moment, despite their indifferent run of late and the number of injuries they've had, and of course their injury situation got even worse today with Fabian Delph having to go pretty early in the game with what looked like a hamstring injury. So 7th for Everton. For Burnley, it's as you were, but they go level on points with West Brom. They stay 2nd from bottom of the table. In the Championship, Reading cruised to a 2-0 win over Nottingham Forest. It wasn't helped by the fact that Ryan Yates was sent off for Nottingham Forest very early on, just 15 minutes after a bit of an error from Brice Samba, the Forest goalkeeper. Lucas Yao scored from the penalty spot. Michael Morrison also scored, and Reading back on song. Just their 2nd win in 8 games, but they move into 2nd place in the table behind last night's winners Bournemouth, only on goal difference. Of course, Norwich play this afternoon. They're at home to Sheffield Wednesday. They could go top, and so too, of course, could Watford if Norwich don't win. Down near the foot of the table at the wrong end, it's as you were for Nottingham Forest, and well, they're in real peril, aren't they? They sit 4th from bottom on 13 points. They haven't scored in the last 5 league games. It didn't look like scoring too often today. Above Wycombe, Sheffield Wednesday, and Derby County. Now they say that
That's how relaxing this actually is.
positive effects on your health, and there might just be something in that. As Danny Welbeck and Theo Walcott are both enjoying a new lease of life down on the South Coast. Ahead of Southampton's trip to Brighton on Monday night, Johnny Phillips spoke to the former teammates to find out more.
They have enjoyed success together at Arsenal and England, but now the careers of Danny Welbeck and Theo Walcott
Yep.
a new path on the South Coast, and the move to breathe new life.
Just went, you know what, dude? Why not?
Elsewhere, but I think
This card died on me, so.
football to me, along with the coach and the people around the club, it's structured very well, and it was one that I was obviously excited to be a part of.
Generally feel like a kid again here, but not just that. I've got so much experience that I can be able to help with this team. The young players coming through, and even the players that are similar age to me. I've got so much experience from Champions League, Europa, the Arsenal in England, of course.
Ha, you're fine.
I've scored up to now, so I just want to bring that experience and help. If that's on the field, great. Off the field, of course, is more important as well. And I just feel like my whole sort of demeanour myself, I want to help people. I want to be positive around the place, and I feel like that's what I've done since I've been here. But this club has made me be able to be me, really.
I think you've got to look forward and see how you can improve, and see the positives in every situation, and that's what I'm doing. I'm looking forward to playing more games and getting a lot more games and goals.
Stand this right.
Both players are in the over 30s bracket now, with Welbeck celebrating his 30th only last month.
Thanks for the birthday reminder. But yeah, I feel like there's plenty more in the tank, and I've got much more to give, and I'm feeling good. Obviously, I didn't have a proper pre-season, but as each game passes, I'm feeling fitter and stronger, and just getting that match sharpness back.
I don't really want to put too much pressure on myself. I don't really need to prove anything to anyone. I just want to prove to myself that I can still play at the highest level. I've been playing in the Premier League for so many years now, I'll probably lose count, but I enjoy it. I just get a sense of enjoying playing football, and I generally don't want it to stop. And the reference of me feeling like a kid, because my body doesn't feel like 30, 31, what they say. I mean, like you say, I feel like, a lot of my years are our best years are still to come.
Each has had to overcome battles with injury and fight for a place in the team. An openness and strength of personality has served them well.
You're a young man growing up, and obviously coming through the academy at Man United, there's always a mentality that's put in place, and it's one that they
there's always one, isn't there?
hard, but to be as good a person soon as possible. And I think the mentality and the working hard and the humbleness, that all comes from how you've been brought up. And obviously you got my parents, they also played a massive role in that, and my family and friends. And yeah, the mentality is I still keep in touch with the manager, Sir Alex Ferguson, and you know,
Come on.
There's not many better people to go to for advice and you know to talk to.
With the heads up campaign with the England setup and everything, I feel like it's very important that a lot of people,
Hey.
you know, to speak out as well. And I've always got someone that I can talk to.
Color of
Field,
glass,
you know,
right then.
even if it's on the field, which is important to, you know, to communicate and not just to hold things in. I feel like in the past, a lot of people, players would hold a lot of thoughts in, but I feel like it's probably good if you get things off your chest, or you just want to talk to someone about anything. So I think that my experience has really made me believe that, and to feel and to express my emotions a bit more, and talk about things, because there's no issue in doing that. And maybe in the past you would hold it in.
Feels he's a top man, really nice guy. And, you know, when I first got to Arsenal, he was one of the lads that was, really getting me integrated with the boys.
It says it all. I smile every time I hear his name, because he's that sort of bubbly character. Honestly, he's such a hard-working guy. He's always got a smile. You know, his goals, you know, are so important at times. His England record particularly is fantastic, I feel, as well. He's missed a lot of games, but he's always come back. He works so hard for the team.
Tell him to cut his hair. Just say cut his hair off.
To be fair, he's not wrong. I probably do need to get a haircut, but I've had a little haircut now, because obviously the place has been open now. But yeah, I probably need to sort of chop this bun down a little bit, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, it's been locked down, Danny. He can't get his hair cut. Hasn't been able to anyway. Well, not much of it. But it would look better with that bun cut off, that wouldn't it? Anyway, having said that, they're both doing really well for their new respective clubs. Of course, Theo, it's a return, isn't it? Let's start by talking about Brighton now. And Clinton Morris, I thought they went with a much more attacking-looking side against Liverpool, with Mopé and Welbeck and Connolly all starting. You know, and they benefited from that.
Yeah, they did. They were on the front foot. They were really good. Obviously, Mopé misses the penalty and then has to come off. But I think Welbeck's been a really good signing. I'm surprised someone didn't really snap him up earlier, because
second floor begins.
The week before that, the goal he scores against Aston Villa, he shows great pace, and the composure, the finish is excellent. But I think that front three can cause problems. He didn't start Trossard. He came on. He's another exciting player. So they have got a lot of good attacking options there at Brighton. But as you said, I think Welbeck signing for Brighton, I think Jeff is going to be a great signing for Brighton.
When you say he's sharp, and he is. And he says this week, I think he's 30 now. He's the second quickest player at the club. Who do you think's the quickest?
Lamptey.
Correct. Tarek Lamptey is the quickest.
I'm the quickest here, though. I think out of everyone on the panel today, I think I'm the quickest.
That's running, isn't it?
Yeah. What else then? Obviously, you've got to run to be quick.
Up top.
And up top as well. And up there as well.
Clinton, you're also the quickest at talking. By quite a margin. Ali McCoy stubbing. Aaron Connolly started last week for Brighton. He hasn't started often this season. He caused Liverpool a few problems with those balls over the top. And looked absolutely livid when he was taken off. Is that what you want from your striker? You want them to be upset when they come off?
Of course you do. I'm upset with Morrison. You still have him know it's the only thing he beats me at, and I'm 58 just now, by the way. But anyway, getting back, you want him to be angry. We've got a centre forward up here at Morelos, Rangers, Jeff. Honestly, boys, you've never seen an angrier player getting substituted in your life, even when he's having a mare. He's still not happy getting taken off. You want it. You don't want your players happy coming off the pitch, lads. I've got to say, I've been impressed with Brighton. I think I listened to Liam and Tim last week. It was one of the boys last week. And they're actually playing better than the points tally would show. And I don't disagree with that, actually. I think, you look at some of their games, played well against Liverpool, particularly Manchester United. I think they've been fine. And they probably should have gathered more points. But no, there's nothing like a good toys out the pram moment when you're getting subs. Used to do it myself, Jeff, believe it or not, once or twice when Graham substituted me. Old toys out the pram. It did fall on deaf ears with Graham, it has to be said.
Did you do that so he could see you? Or was it when he was looking in the opposite direction?
made sure he saw me all right. Don't worry about that.
We should explain the Graham that Ali's talking about is Graham Souness, of course. You know, look, the problem Brighton have sometimes is in creativity, and I mean it was heartbreaking in many respects for the player last week, Merce, but also for Brighton management and fans. Adam Lallana lasted 8 minutes, and these injury bumps never seem to go away.
Yeah, I mean it's a shame because big fan of his.
Yeah.
Proper footballer, real good footballer, got a good footballing brain. Just some players that just get injured. I just pick up injuries. I mean, I don't know if it's how the body works. I don't know. I don't know if that's something the sports scientists and the fitness coaches there, how it works. I mean, I was very fortunate. I had a couple of twisted ankles. That was it. I never really didn't pull any muscles or anything like that. And you know, so I feel sorry for the lad. He just must have. Body must just work differently to certain other people because he doesn't mean to get injured, doesn't mean to pick up injuries. You know, he probably stretches as well as anybody else. I don't know if when the game starts you tense up. I don't know, but it's a shame. You know, for me, he's a top player, and he just keeps picking up injuries.
But he's going to be out for 2 or 3 weeks at least. He's made 7 Premier League starts.
Bad.
It makes a big difference. There's no question about that.
It's been very fun.
Southampton, Tim, was game of 2 halves, wasn't it? Literally against Manchester United. So good in a period of the first half. No Danny Ings at the moment, and a lot of people thought, how did he just step into his boots? He plays a very different role, doesn't he? And he's got a surprisingly great array of passing.
Yeah, he comes deeper. You know, he works very hard out of position. He comes deeper and he can find a pass. You know, good backing in there, good strength and ability there, and a good way to pass. They were very bad in the second half. I thought they just backed off and let Man United come. Yes, Man United threw everything at them, threw a lot of offensive players on. Great pass there. He's got good awareness, but you don't just find that pass as he receives the ball, Jeff. He already knows, I'm coming off into that area, I'm going to hit on the half turn, and he knows where his teammates are. So, no, he's done brilliantly. I think Danny Ings is back into training now, and I think Sheridan's has done enough to stay in the team alongside Danny Ings, so they were doing very well. You know, they're 6th in the league, Southampton. They would take that now. You said you were going to finish up there. I think the only way for them is surely has to be the other way, but they won't be looking at it like that. I think Hasselhoff has done an absolutely magnificent job there.
Tiny hint of Harry Kane in those passes from Sheridan. We're going to come back to Southampton. Let's go back to the Priestfield Stadium, though. Gillingham led by a goal snow for a long, long while now. There's been a second goal. Who's got it, Tony?
Yeah, Jeff, Gillingham's game plan has been excellent today because it's been all Swindon. They've dominated the game, but they haven't really created too many clear-cut chances. They've absorbed the pressure, Gillingham, and then they get the ball back eventually around about on the halfway line, and it's Dominic Samuel gets on the ball, and he does really well because he gets his head up, he looks, Jeff, he waits for the run of Trey Cole. It's a brilliant pass. He takes it in his stride. He's through 1v1 on the keeper. Take your time, put it in the corner. Great finish, 2-0, Jeff.
Trey Cole, lovely cool finish, isn't it? It's just his second ever league goal. He's on loan from Arsenal, and it's the 32nd goal that Swindon have conceded this season. That is the worst record in English football, and it's one of the reasons why they are 6th from bottom of that League One table at the moment. So what do you do with Danny Ings then, Merce? He's back in training. We'll come to the longer term in a moment, but you know they're sitting up there near the top of the table. Do you throw them straight back in against Brighton, or do you want to just look after them a little?
It all depends what he's been like in training, how many days he's been training, has he been full blast at training. If all of them are okay, and then I'd play him. I would. I want, if I'm the manager, I want my best players on the football pitch, and he's definitely one of them. You know, I don't believe in all that putting someone sub and then because they could come on in 5 minutes. You know, so for me, it all depends how the training's been. Sometimes you can train, Jeff, and it's hard. It's
high enough.
In this day and age, you're not getting kicked off the pitch. You know, whatever game you come in, you're not going to be kicked from pillar to post. So for me, if he's fit, I play him. I think, you know, I'm a massive fan of his. I think if he plays, Brighton will be worried. If he don't play, you know, I think Brighton will be more than a match for Southampton.
You see, he's got a year and a half, has Danny Ings, left on his current deal. He scored 38 and 75 for Southampton. And Ali, guess what the topic of conversation on Ralph Hasenhutl's mind is? He said, I don't want Danny Ings to throw this away for a bit more money. I speak to him once or twice a month about his contract. If you're Danny Ings, look, I mean, what do you do? Do you stick or do you twist? He would be in demand, wouldn't he?
I think you up it to about 7 or 8 times a month, Jeff, initially. Chatsworth, never mind the once or twice. That'll get upgraded, don't worry about that. Listen, Danny Ings has been fabulous. And getting back to what Merce was saying there, I take the point totally. Well, what I think Ralph Husenhattel and Southampton have earned, because they're sitting in a comfortable, great position, fantastic position, League Six, he doesn't need to throw him in right now. Because if, for example, there's 7, 8, 9 games to go, and they need to, they're down in a dogfight, relegation fight, then there's no doubt about it. You throw him in because you might need a goal. But he's earned the position. Mercy's right, he's the best finisher in the club, and if he's fit, you play him. But if there is a wee sort of lingering doubt, because of the position they're in just now, you maybe put him on the bench, or you give him another week. But listen, he's key. Danny Ings, I love Danny Ings, I've got to say, you boys. I just think he's a proper old school goal scorer. You get the ball in the box, scores all sorts of goals, makes little runs here and there. His injury problems up the road at Liverpool, I get that. But, you know, it looks to me as though he's happy where he is. He's kind of well suited to the club. And you would think at his age, you know, it will be maybe his last kind of big contract. You think to yourself, you know, am I going to get any better than this? Things are going well. So he's got a big decision to make. But the biggest guarantee is that one or two conversations a month will go up to about 7 or 8, I would imagine.
Yeah. I mean, that might be what Ralph Husenhattel thinks, Ali, but I was asking you what Ralph Hasenhüttl thinks. But anyway, never mind. Look, Brighton against Southampton. There will be some fans in the city, but if you can't get there, it's Monday Night Football, 7 o'clock on Sky Sports Premier League. One of my boys, Matt, is going along to that one. So, yeah. Sit and go, Kenny Butters, Glanford Park, where still up with Late Norris for a farewell run. Remember that Late Norris missed a penalty in the 7th minute of the second goal. Which way has it gone, Mike Jones?
It's gone to our home side. They've probably wrapped up the points. Alex Gilliard, the captain, featured in it. Jordan Clark went down the wing, played it into Gilliard. Gilliard flipped it sideways to Alfie Beastie. He stepped back and then drilled the ball low into the corner to make it Scunthorpe United 2, Leyton Orient 0.
It's his first goal in almost 3 years for Alfie Beastie in there, and it's good enough, we would imagine, to wrap up the points for Neil Cox's son. Just what they're improving. It's going to be 1 defeat in 6 league games. A disappointment for Leyton Orient at the start of the day in the playoff places. Leyton Orient has scored in every away game in all competitions so far this season. They've still got time to get back into it. There's some 11 or 12 minutes left on the clock, but at the moment it looks like points are staying. One final match to look at. Manchester City will move within 3 points of the top if they can beat Fulham. They usually do.
The heck is this?
Fulham are looking to build on their win against Leicester last time up, but you have to go back to the days when Danny Murphy, Bobby Zamora, Clint Dempsey and Mark Schwarzer were in the Fulham team for the last time they beat City 11 years ago.
Manchester City looking for a 7th consecutive home win here in the Premier League. And Calvin Atuhu plays against his brother for the first time.
What color will I do the floor? We'll do the crazy color. There it is.
Made of what matters. Soccer Saturday, sponsored by Gillette.
I'm a nodder. Up to the football, down to the app. Like a dog on a dashboard. If I've got a bet on a big game, I tend to get a little bit involved.
If I've got an hacker coming in, I find myself getting very excited. Just one
If some days are rugged, but some days are smooth, Philips Prestige makes 3-day stubble easy to remove. If nanotech blades cut with ultra-sharp precision, then a close shave is today's decision. Philips Prestige Shaver. Blade close.
I can't believe how crazy this actually looks.
There's always a way to make life better. Philips.
Catch them, Terry! Oh, they don't seem very tired, Mr. Alexander. There'll be no Christmas tomorrow. No TV, no treat. Oh, there'll be no big beetle bird. And as he gave that yawn, all the other beetles yawned too.
It's your very last chance to get your limited edition Sleepy Olive toy. Only with a qualifying purchase to compare the market.
Oh.
Latest invention.
I feel like that.
Cruncher vintage cheddar with its subtle crunch. Oh, collection luxury
Hey, what am I going to do for a door?
rich black truffle.
I'll go with purple door.
Christmas without delicious cheese. It's enough to give you nightmares. This is not just cheese. This is M&S cheese.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Sense of the pie, you know how I feel. Cool freedom, Ella and Lee.
No, I don't want that.
3, 2, 1, put it back, Skeleton.
Are you ready for the adventure of a lifetime?
What is this? Warps. Oh my goodness.
Sponsored by Gillette.
Just one game to talk about then.
Where is the thing I'm looking?
Leicester City, and I look at
Goodness
Manchester City
gracious.
and if they win this, they're 3 points off the top of the table. Do you think that some people have written them off prematurely?
Yeah, and it's been a bad start to the season. No, I do think that. Listen, the result they got against, I think, Burnley the other day was a fantastic result, and that result was coming.
Yeah, when you realise you screwed up a bit.
And they did. I thought Man City were. I think Tim watched.
No.
They were brilliant. They were on the front foot against Burnley. Mahrez comes in and scores a hat trick, and they've got loads of good attacking players. Man City. Eventually, it's all going to click and come together. So I for one was never writing off Man City, and I know people can say that now because they picked up a few good results. But I just feel with the squad of players that they've got at Man City, they can go and win as much games as they can lose, and they've got a great chance of winning this Premier League for sure.
Sergio Aguero still sidelined today. Phil Foden and Ferran Torres both find themselves on the bench. Gabriel Jesus gets the start, Kevin De Bruyne, Riyad Mahrez as well. And Tim, Riyad Mahrez had to be patient at times, hasn't he, City? Because he went there almost as a superstar, certainly in the environment of Leicester.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not sure if there is such a thing as a first choice now or not. But if there is at City, is he?
Well, they've struggled to score goals, haven't they, in recent weeks? You know, and you don't hear that a lot from a Man City side, but they need to be more clinical. He was certainly clinical last week. Obviously, a 5-0 victory. That's the 4th time they won 5-0 against Burnley. So you pick your game. If you need to be selective, if you're an offensive player, you certainly want to be playing against Burnley. Twinkle Toes here just creates an opportunity for himself, just opens up the goal and bends it in. Don't get me wrong, but the defending is not great. Phil Foden here just sticks one on the far post. He comes in with his head. You don't see a lot of headed goals from Riyad Mahrez. I think overall, he's been a disappointment. I have to be honest, but you know, when he's coming in and there's David Silva still at the club and Leroy Sané, so he found it difficult to get in. Now he needs to continue to play at that level, and it's like all the Man City players. If you drop your level, you're going to be out of the team, and someone else is going to come and take your spot. So it's good for Riyad. This is a tough game for Fulham. I think they will continue trying to play out from the back, and
And Man City would have done their homework, and they last week when I watched them play against Burnley, as much as Burnley were very poor, they were made to look poor because of the pressing of Man City. They will be all over him. They will just set traps, let Fulham trying to play out, and they will just pounce all over him and win the ball in the final third, and they'll win the game.
But at the moment, Sergio Aguero, by the way, is the only injury concern that Manchester City have got. Otherwise, Pep Guardiola's got a fully fit squad to pick from, hence how difficult it is to get in and stay in sometimes. Ali, should we be concerned, or should City fans be concerned about Raheem Sterling's form?
Yeah, I would have thought so, Jeff. He's set incredibly high standards, I've got to say, prior to this season, but I don't think he's really shown his true form. That will come. I don't have any doubt about it. But it would be a little bit of a concern. They've lost, a great player in Silva, and I don't care when they say, you're right, they can go a win that'll put them right in the league, but they haven't started at all well. Anything like the way they should have started with the players that they've got in the squad. I mean, I was reading that I think if they beat Fulham, it's the first time they won back-to-back games in the league this season. Unbelievable. Before the 5-0 victory against Burnley, they only scored 5 in the last 6 league games. Unbelievable. They've really
no.
Aguero. I'm even looking back to somebody like Checo. He'd have been perfect for them just now in Aguero's absence. Because he'd have scored 7, 8, 9 goals. That's what they've done. I think they look slightly better at the back, I've got to say to you, with the signings Diaz, and I definitely think they look a little bit better, but at the same time I don't think they've got firing yet, and I think one of the biggest pluses for Manchester City this season so far in the league is that nobody's stretched away. Liverpool have dropped points, Spurs have been doing exceptionally well, Chelsea are there. I think the big thing for City that he'll be delighted with Guardiola is the fact that nobody has started firing on all cylinders and stretched ahead in the league. So they're well capable of winning the league, absolutely, with the talent they've got, even after a poor start, the worst start in 12 years.
If you look at the other end of the table, of course, Fulham's still very much involved, Merce. Was that performance at Leicester the first performance that offers their supporters some real hope that actually they could stay in this division?
Yeah, I would definitely say so. I mean, that was a good result.
I don't know what to think about that.
They played well against West Brom, but it was against a lesser team. But to go to Leicester and play the way they did, definitely it will give them heart. It's a shame, because when you win a game like that, you have a great result, you want to go back to back. It's all about, you put 2-3 wins together in this league and you'll fly up the table. They'd have come off that pitch and then they'd have got back on the coach and then they've got who we got Saturday, they've got Man City away and they'd have gone, oh dear. What Burnley did. Yeah, exactly. They win a game, beat Palace, and then they get Man City.
Fair enough. That's a start. I'd probably chop all that down.
I would play Mitrovic and beat the press and got it up to Mitrovic, got him to protect the ball and go from there with a bit of pace.
Right.
They'll play out from the back.
I think it is time to end. So, hopefully everybody's okay. Bye.
It turned out it was a stroke of genius, wasn't it?
Really well, great energy.